Good day, yogis, and welcome back onto the mat with me for a heart-opening Yin Yoga sequence. So this sequence is going to focus on the kidney meridian, so meridian lines that run through the body. Yin Yoga focuses on restoring energy and the lines of sending chi and life force through the meridians to balance and bring back into harmony. So it's also going to focus on our heart chakra, but also the solar plexus and throat chakra. So some beautiful back bends in this sequence, and just grab hold of your mats and let's begin. So for this sequence you're going to need a couple of brick blocks, our usual props for Yin Yoga, a bolster or a couple of pillows with a blanket wrapped around them. So allow yourself to come into easy seat or sukhasana onto your mat. Let's take a short meditation. Bringing the hands onto the knees, you can lift the palms upward and close the eyes. Allow yourself a few moments here, deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allow yourself this time to connect within, dropping the shoulders away from the ears as you lengthen up from the base of the spine. Deep inhalations and equally long exhalations, really expanding the breath, the breathing cavity. So as you inhale, expanding right to the maximum expansion of the lungs. And as you exhale, expelling even the last bits of air right down to the bottom of the lungs. Allowing yourself to begin to feel fully relaxed, noticing sounds outside of the room, not attaching, just noticing. Allowing the hearing to drift over from one sound to the next. And then drawing the hearing back into the room and space around you. Just noticing the closest sounds to you. And then bring awareness fully back to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling deeply through the nose. Bringing final awareness now into the heart center, the area of the heart chakra. And as you rest your attention here, beginning to visualize a green swirling light in the space of the heart chakra. Allowing yourself to breathe into the space of your heart chakra, cleansing and balancing this space. And as we move through today's practice, maybe setting an intention to live more from the space of your heart, to tap in to the power of love as opposed to the love of power. Allow yourself the last few moments here, letting the breath wash over you, cleansing and restoring and balancing every one of the chakras, starting at the root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and finally the crown. Take a last few deep breaths here. And when you're ready, gently flutter the eyes open, coming back into your space. Ready for the first of our Yin Yoga postures, which is melting heart. So coming onto all fours, or coming into tabletop position. Knees are stacked underneath the hips here, wrists are stacked underneath the shoulders. Just take time here to find a neutral spine. So allow yourself a moment here in a neutral spine. So belly's not hanging down or drawn up. You're finding that neutrality within the spine. Pressing the hands equally and the knees equally into the mat, tops of the feet pressed. Take a moment here with that neutrality of spine, and then gently begin to walk the hands forward to the top of your mat. And then begin to press back, allowing the forehead to drift down towards the mat. Now take a moment to check in on the posture. The knees will ultimately be left stacked underneath the hips here. Once you're there, allow yourself to completely settle. If you'd like to drop the forearms onto the mat, you can do so. If you're feeling that the shoulders are very tight here, you can take your block or your blanket or your pillow and allow the forehead to be propped onto the block or pillow. Just giving yourself a little bit more space here, maybe easing out of the shape. Remembering the 3 principles of Yin Yoga, that we find our edge, then we resolve to be still and hold the posture. So just allow yourself to settle here. We are here for 3 minutes. So just let go into the shape. Really relax into the shoulders. Soften through the upper back. Allow yourself to just settle here. Deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allowing yourself to melt down. This asana opens up the area near your heart by stretching deeply into your shoulders and the muscles around your ribcage. It also helps to soothe and relax your nerves. You'll feel that there's a freedom within the breathing cavity, so deeply inhale and exhale here. Asking the body to release any tension through the upper arms, through the back. Just continuously bringing your awareness back into the breath, following your inhalations and exhalations, as you allow yourself to sink down a little further into the mat with every breath, softening all parts of the body, allowing the shoulders here to release any tension that they're holding onto. Taking the first of our heart opening positions in Yin Yoga. Deep breaths. Moving into the last 30 seconds in this posture, really allowing yourself to surrender and fully experience the letting go and the release through the shoulders. Gently press the palms into the mat. Keep the forearms down on the ground and gently allow yourself to drop down onto the belly. We're moving straight into the next posture, which is Sphinx Pose. So elbows are stacked underneath the shoulders, hands are extended in front of you, and we're going to take 5 minutes now in Sphinx Pose and then transition from Sphinx into Seal. So just allow yourself to get comfortable here, letting go of any tension through the lower back, softening through the toes, through the legs, all the way up through the thighs into the buttocks. Belly is resting gently onto the mat and a gentle bend through the base of the spine. Begin to connect once more to the breath here. This heart-opening pose will help you learn to breathe deeply into your chest and upper back, while providing a back bend that might reduce lower back tension and improve spine flexibility. Allow yourself to connect to the breath every time that the mind wanders. Ensure that you're reaching up out of the posture rather than sinking down into the shoulders here. And then fully relax and let go. Working into those 3 principles of Yin Yoga, which are to find your edge, to be still, and to hold the pose. This is a beautiful Yin sequence that opens up the throat and the chest, the shoulders, the pecs, and the upper back to create space and freedom in the upper body. Once more, taking this time to turn inward, as Yin Yoga is a very meditative practice, allow yourself to turn within as you experience every single one of the shapes in the body. Without forcing or pushing, just gently allowing the body to mold into the shape. Moving into the last 30 seconds here. See how you can let go just that little more. We're going to move, from Sphinx right into Seal Pose, which is a little bit more of a deeper version of Sphinx. So if your lower back is feeling very tight, you can just stay as you are, and we're going to take 3 more minutes, or you can move into Seal Pose with me. So we're going to transition now. We just gently press the palms firmly into the ground as they are and begin to rise up, lengthening through the arms, gazing forward. So you can take your hands to the outside edges of the mat here, creating a bit more space if this feels comfortable to you. If this posture is not part of your practice today, you can just reverse out, dropping back onto the forearms and relaxing here. So again, listen to your body, find your edge, resolve to be still, and then hold the pose. So we're here for another 2 and a bit minutes. Really lengthen up through the chest, open up and breathe deeply down into the lower back where you might be feeling a little bit of tension. See you're able to soften the buttocks, soften the thighs, the knees, the calves, the feet. All the while breathing in and out deeply, expanding through the chest. Seal pose is similar to Sphinx, but it provides a much deeper back bend, which helps aid digestion. It's a great posture if you spend long hours sitting in a chair, as it reinforces the natural curvature of your lower back. If you'd like to, in this last minute, take this posture to the next level, you can bend the toe, bend the knees, send the feet to the back of the head, and just breathe here. Into the last few seconds. If you're still in Sphinx, that's totally fine. Gently come out, dropping down onto the elbows, extending the feet back. Gently take a little rest here by bringing one hand on top of the other. Gently moving the hips here from side to side. We're going to take a counter pose by gently bringing hands underneath the shoulders, pressing palms into the mat. Roll yourself very gently all the way back into child's pose. So we're allowing ourselves counter pose now from our back bend, coming into this forward bend. Allow the forehead to drop down onto the mat and just relax here for a few breaths. Breathing deeply into the back body, creating space. Couple of last deep breaths. And then gently press the palms into the mat. Come back up into tabletop. Adjust yourself here. Knees are hip width apart. Wrists are stacked underneath the shoulders once more. We're going to step the right foot forward on the mat. And we're coming into what is called twisted dragon pose. So this would have been baby dragon. Hands on either side of the foot. If you have a very sensitive knee or you're battling with any knee issues, you can always roll your mat or fold it over and place the folded part under the knee. We're going into what is called twisted dragon. So the right foot is forward, left hand is planted down onto the ground, and we grab hold of this left foot into the right hand, gazing back towards or over the shoulder towards the foot. And we're going to be here for a couple of minutes, so just settle into the posture. If this is not accessible to you, you can also just set intention here. So raise the foot up to where it will go. Gaze backwards. So you're taking that twist as well as gazing towards the back foot. Or you can just rest that foot down on the ground and just set intention in this way. Maybe keeping the hand on the knee or whatever works for you here. Twisted dragon helps you go deeper into the legs by targeting the quads. It opens up the upper back body and can provide relief from lower back pain. So a beautiful stretch here into this left quad, gazing towards the back of the room. Just keep breathing deeply here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We've got another 30 seconds. We're just here for 2 minutes. Gently lower the back foot onto the mat. Bring both hands on either side of your foot back into baby dragon for a couple of breaths. And then gently step that right knee back. Come back into your tabletop position. Just gently wag the hips from side to side, maybe rolling in one direction and then rolling around in the other. Coming back into neutral, and then we're getting ready now to go to the other side. So stepping the right foot forward, coming into baby dragon to set yourself up here now for twisted dragon. If you're going to roll your mat over, you can do so now. Pinning that left hand into the mat, we begin to sweep the hand back to grab hold of that left foot, and gaze towards the back of the room. Once more, twisting around, deep breathing here. Knee is stacked over the ankle. Just allow yourself to sink down deeper here, taking that beautiful stretch through the quad. We're here for 2 minutes. Just continuously turn into the breath, following your inhale and your exhale, allowing yourself this time to settle deeply into this posture of twisted dragon. Last 30 seconds to go before we come out. So allow yourself to soften anywhere in the body where you haven't softened. Gently lower the back foot, and then bring the hands back on either side, coming into baby dragon once more for a breath. And then as you exhale, gently roll back, bringing the knee back, taking a little seat, dropping down into child's for a moment, sweeping the arms around the body. A couple of deep breaths here. Really allowing yourself to settle down on the mat. Last couple of deep breaths. And then on the next exhale, bring the palms underneath the shoulders and gently allow yourself to come up and into seated staff. From here, we're going to roll over into a few different variations of saddle pose. So for saddle pose, you're going to take the right foot back towards the heel, towards the outer thigh of the right leg. The knees are zipped towards one another here. Now, if this is too much for you, or you're very tight in the hips, or the knees are feeling a little bit stiff, you can grab hold of a pillow or a bolster or a block and prop it underneath the buttocks. If this is okay for you here, you can take a little bit further and see if you're able to come down onto the forearms or the elbows, gazing towards the toes, making sure that the knees are pinned towards each other and you're extending over this front left thigh. If this is okay for you and you still feel like you have range, you can come all the way down, bringing the whole body flat down onto the mat and allow yourself just to breathe into the space here. We're here for 2 minutes, so just allow yourself this time now to fully release through the body in saddle pose. Turning the awareness once more to the breath, allowing yourself to sink down into the ground deeply. So just continue as you are in saddle pose. This asana helps to open the front of the thighs. It helps to stabilize or stretch the ankle, the knee joint. Through the hip rotation, you will stretch your quads and the hip flexors. Just softening right down into the ground, allowing the body to do its work here. Being gentle. If anything hurts in this particular posture, just back off. Just come into seated half saddle. If you need that prop underneath the buttocks, take it. Whatever you need, don't go into a space where you're feeling pain. Yoga is not about going into painful places. It's about going to an edge of a 5 where you're able to allow the body to gently release by itself. We're moving into our last 30 seconds here. Just allow yourself to fully surrender down into the shape for these last seconds. See where you are able to let go just that bit more. Breathing deeply into the chest and belly, bringing focus and awareness once more into the space of the heart chakra. Gently allow yourself to come out of the posture, wherever that was for you. If you were still seated, that's absolutely fine. Allow yourself to gently send the feet back towards one another. Give the legs a little shake, moving them from side to side. Let's get ready to go into the other side. Reverse saddle now. One-legged or saddle pose, sorry, with one. We're now taking the right heel into the right buttock. Extending the leg forward, knees are both facing the short edge. And then when you're ready, you can gently either come down onto the forearms or you can roll right back onto the back and further your stretch here. So we're here for 2 minutes. Allow yourself to settle into the posture and then completely let go. Taking this moment now to stretch deeply through the front thigh, into the hip flexor, softening through the belly, softening the back, letting go of all tension as you find yourself once more in half saddle. Again, if this full expression of half saddle is not working for you, just reverse out of the shape. Come back up onto the forearms. Come back up into seated. Whatever works for you here, don't overdo it. Deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Having found your edge, resolving to stay still and then hold the posture. Moving into the last 30 seconds of our stretch. Gently allowing yourself to come out, reversing out as you went in, coming back up onto forearms, and then eventually coming back up into seated, sending the legs back towards one another, giving them a shake. So you may be feeling a little bit of rebound here, so take your time moving the legs from side to side here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come into hero pose. So you have the option here to either take easy seat or hero pose. So hero pose is sitting on the calves, the heels underneath the buttocks. We're coming into reverse prayer arms. So bringing the hands behind the back into prayer pose and sitting up nice and tall. So you can see that there. If this is not available to you, you just grab hold of the elbows and that is sufficient. So we are working here in stretching and releasing through the wrists. So we relieve aches and pains after working on a computer. This pose is really beautiful for working on your posture as it opens up your chest and shoulders and promotes good posture. So if you're really working or spending a long time at a computer, this posture is really beautiful for opening up and reversing some of that damage done by hunching over during the day. So we're going to be here for another 2 more minutes. Just allow yourself to settle, closing the eyes and going within, turning back to the breath once more. Beautiful breaths in and out through the nose. Allowing yourself to take this time, turning inwards. As you let go through the body, release tension. If you're feeling stiffness within the shoulders, send the breath there. Allow the shoulders to release as you relax and let go into this shape. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Moving into our last 30 seconds in reverse prayer arms. coming into the next pose, which is deeply restorative. So we're nearly there. Gently let go, releasing the hands, taking a couple of shoulder rolls here, shaking out the wrists. So a beautiful stretch if your hands were in prayer behind the back. Beautiful stretch through the wrists here. Just roll the shoulders back and forward. And we're coming into the last of our postures, which is called supported fish. So for this, you need your bolster. You're going to grab hold of the bolster and draw it right into the base of the spine. And then you're going to lie back over the bolster, bringing the soles of the feet either together to touch, or you can draw the legs right down to the bottom of the mat and allow yourself to fully surrender and let go here. This is a deeply restorative posture, so you can take as much time as you like here. So if you feel like being here for 10 minutes, do so. If you feel it's really easing through the shoulders and the back, then do so. If you feel like you need to take a deep stretch like I do, then do so. Just play around with the posture. If you prefer to have the feet up and legs out in butterfly, then do that too. Just make this in your own expression. Allow yourself to reap the benefits here of this deeply restorative posture. Just allow yourself to inhale and exhale through the nose once more, softening through the belly, softening into the groin, through the thighs, knees, calves, down to the feet. Allow the whole upper back to feel held here on your bolster or your pillows, blanket, whatever you have underneath you. Just surrender down into the earth beneath you. Allow yourself to feel hold here, held. If you're feeling as though you need a bit of support under the knees, you can place a brick underneath each knee. So whatever works for you here. Chin should be gently tucked in towards the chest so that you have a bit of length through the base of the neck. And then once more, just allow yourself to breathe. Breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Allowing yourself to surrender for the last few moments in our supported fish pose. And gently sending your feet down to the bottom of the mat. Drawing the arms up overhead for a last deep stretch. We're gently going to roll into a very brief few moments in Shavasana or corpse pose. So place your bolster or pillows aside. Grab hold of some blankets or pillows if you need. Just allow yourself now to surrender into Shavasana or corpse pose for a last few moments here. Beginning with the soles of the feet, the toes, the ankles, allowing yourself to completely let go and relax down into the mat. Moving up through the calves, the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, letting go and relaxing. Scanning into the hips, softening the buttocks, pelvis, belly also, as you let go and relax. Moving awareness now to the tips of the fingers, the palms, the wrists, the forearms, the elbows. Moving into the upper arms, shoulders and chest. Softening every muscle here as you let go and relax. Unclenching the jaw, relaxing the muscles around the mouth and the eyes. Softening the forehead, moving up into the crown and then finally to the back of your head where it's resting on your mat. Allowing it to sink that a little deeper as you let go. Bringing one hand and then the other onto the heart center or the heart chakra area. Beginning to envision once more the whirling green light within the space. Having worked on balancing and restoring energy within this heart chakra, allowing yourself to move forward, living and operating from your heart space. Taking the last few breaths here. When you're ready, you can gently begin to wriggle the toes, bringing some movement back into the feet. Gently taking the tip of the thumb and drawing it across the tips of the fingers, allowing the head to roll over from one side and then to the other. Drawing the arms up overhead for a last deep stretch. And rolling over onto either your right or your left side to gently come back up into your easy seat. Bringing the legs to cross once more. Bringing the hands back into prayer position. Gently begin rubbing the palms, generating some warmth. And then resting those hands into your heart center, connecting here. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, bow the nose down to touch the fingertips, acknowledging yourself for turning up to the practice. Wishing you a truly beautiful day further. Namaste.